Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to get you up to date on some new makeup purchases and tell you what's been really good and what's kind of the bottom of the barrel. I've got 10 things in front of me and I thought we'd rank them worst to first. So the worst thing that I've tried recently is this. This is the new setting powder from Tower 28. It's called the Get Set Translucent. And I have the white shade. It's the lightest shade there is. I really wanted to love this because it has the ability to act like a setting spray where it's supposed to keep things in place. And I found that when I used this, most of my face ended up looking a little heavy and a little powdery. And then on top of that, under the eyes, it does me no favors at all. I feel like this might be better for warmer weather, and as we're transitioning into cooler weather where I live, I find that this is definitely not for me right now. I'd be really curious to try this in the summertime when it's like really hot outside and my face feels like it's melting off. But the one thing that I noticed about it is that it is it's not as finely milled as some of the other things, and the white is visible. Normally white powders may get along really well. This one, not so much. It felt a little heavy. I'm also missing the fact that there's no mirror in here. So it's a really, kind of affordable packaging. It does have like the name right here, but other than that, it feels a little drugstore. Not gonna lie, it's not the best packaging there is, and the powder itself, there's better stuff to be had at a much lower price point than this. So unless you are extremely oily and looking to use something other than a setting spray to keep your face in place, I don't know that I'd recommend this. I especially would not recommend it for mature skin because it really does no favors at all for my mature skin. This is probably gonna get passed on to one of my kids. Number 9 has been this. This is a palette that I tried twice, and I don't know whether I'm not getting it. I've heard so much good stuff about Blend Bunny. This is the Forget Me Not Versatile Eye and Face Palette. So I've tried it twice. This is what she looks like. I mean, I would think that this has everything I would need, but I found these to be, especially the mattes, they were just a little bit patchy. And I was not expecting that to be the case. It does have a nice mirror on the other side, but it was the fact that these mattes were patchy. I do like that we have larger pans here, so I can use these for not just eyeshadow, but also on the face. I have used, I think, this one here to contour. This was a little too bronzy for me, but it looks really great in the crease of the eye. These guys down here, okay, they're beautiful. I'm not going to tell you they're not beautiful because they are beautiful. They're very, very metallic, and they do nothing but emphasize the texture on my eyelids. I was wanting it not to do that because I really wanted to love this palette. I feel like this palette is probably for somebody who likes these neutral tones, who's going to use it for eye and for face. If there is a multi-use palette that kind of gives this, the one that I like better and the one that I'm using today, is a Danessa Myricks. This one is really beautiful because you do have shades that you can use on the eyes and the face. I'm using this today as eyeshadow, as eyeliner, in my brows. Like, you can do a ton with this. I could have continued to go on and do like contour and bronzer, but I was like, no, let's use something else. But if I'm using an all-in-one face palette, I'm gonna reach for this before I reach for this. If you're wanting to know if it's bad, I don't know that it's bad. It's just not for me. I feel like the metallics, especially since they emphasize the texture on my more mature eyelids, I feel like that would definitely be a strike against it if you're over the age of maybe 40 or 45. I feel like the older I get, the more of the texture shows up on my lids, and then certain types of metallics can just really look too much. It's also too much to be used as highlight on the cheek. I definitely want something that's a little bit more toned down, but if you're wanting a more aggressive glow, you might really like the 4 shades across the bottom. I liked the powders on the face better than the eye, but there aren't that many powders in here because there's not like a bronzer shade for me. There really isn't. I wanted there to be, but there's not. So I feel like overall, this is a great idea. It just doesn't, it has a lot more really deep and darker shades than I can use on my fair skin. So that's why it's at number 9. Okay, so we're past the things that didn't work for me and that I didn't like and that I'm kind of not reaching for. And we're into, I like it, I've been using it. So at number 8 is this. This is the Blend Bunny Sugar High Tinted Lip Oil. And yes, I got the shade Black Sugar. I was wanting to try something that was a little bit different outside of my comfort zone and is, you know, just a little bit. So it's kind of a grayish color when you put it on, but what it does on my natural lip color is it kind of tones it down and cools it down. So if I'm ever wearing a lipstick that's too warm or a lip liner that's too warm with the look that I'm going for, a little bit of this takes care of it. It's also very nourishing. It's very comfortable on the lips. Somebody recommended this to me. They're like, you don't have to go full on black lipstick if you want to try kind of like that sheer veil of color on your lips that's more non-traditional. Start with something like this. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. I have been enjoying it. I have been wearing it. I don't know that I've worn it on camera yet, but I wear it all the time, you know, around the house, running errands. It's super comfortable. Doe foot is nice and chunky. I thought this was really fun and it was very affordable. Number 7 is something that I wanted to love a little bit more. I was expecting to be head over heels for it. And for me and my expectations, it's just okay. And it's this. It's the Tower 28 Make Waves Mascara. Now, I remember when this was like viral and everybody and their mother was going for it. Was that last summer? They could not stop talking about it. Everywhere you turned, it was the Make Waves Mascara, Make Waves Mascara. It comes in black, it comes in brown. I think the mini only comes in black because that's what I have it in. I like it. I feel like it does a good job. But when I'm done with this little guy here, this is not the mascara I'm going to repurchase. And I think a lot of it has to do with the type of lashes that I have. I have short, straight, downward pointing lashes. So they're always kind of going like this. And I definitely want them like this, you know, just a little bit of a curl pointing upwards to make my eyes look a little bit bigger. And this does not give me that. I do like that it's a tubing formula. I feel like it's easy to take off and that is great, but I'm needing a little bit more volume that I'm getting from this, and it's just okay. And I don't want to be paying for a mascara that's just okay. I want something that's literally going to blow my socks off. This is a good mascara, but I'm sure it's for different lashes than I have. All right, number 6, I've actually been liking this quite a lot and I've been using it more. One thing I figured out though is that this Lip Mage from M Cosmetics, this is the shade Mirage. It's really pretty. It's a tinted lip serum. So it has a really nice little accurate doe foot on here. The color is really pretty. It's kind of like a cooler, almost browny shade. I like that a lot. It is a lip tint, so it does stain the lips. And the more you apply, because it starts out looking, you know, kind of glossy like this and really pretty. It's very hydrating. It's very nourishing. I really like this. I wish there were a few more colors, but the problem that I've been running into is if I just keep reapplying, it goes from this color to something significantly deeper, and you can kind of see it on the doe foot, where it's not this brown color, it's more of like a little bit of a berry tone to it. And that berry tone comes through and it makes my lips stained. So that stain builds up more and more and more with each application. So what I've ended up doing is applying this twice, maybe 3 times during the day, and then switching to a lip balm where I put the balm over the top of the stain that I get from this. But I like how glossy it is. I like the color that it is. It's the stain. If the stain stained the same color, oh, I'd be head over heels for this. It's really good. You can see that it does stain, but after a while, the stain starts to look a little bit more berry and not quite so kind of cool, brown, and I've really been into brown lips recently. That's why I've really been liking this. But if I continue to pile it on too much, I get too much of a stain on my lips, and then it just looks like a mistake. And that's on me and my fair skin. It might work really well for you, but I have been liking that. I do think it's a beautiful formula. I love that it doesn't actually find all my fine lines and go places. I think it's a really elegant formula. I want there to be more shades, and I want some slightly softer shades because they have some really deep shades, some terracottas, a berry, and the lighter shades that they have, I just don't think would be the sort of shades that I would want. But I do like this shade in Mirage. It's really, really pretty. At number 4 is this. This really surprised me. This is the Powder Louder from NYX. This is an eyebrow pencil. And this is one of those that is a powder pencil. So you get a really soft look to it. It's so easy. The other thing is that when you do give it a sharpen, it has a really nice sharp point. It can come to a really nice little point and then draw really thin and distinct hairs for you if that's what you're going for. But I like when it's a little bit duller and then I'm able to get those, you know, really soft. Let me dull it down a little bit here. You have to be careful because if you're not, it does end up looking like Sharpie brow. But getting these slightly softer shades, and then when I go over and spoolie it, it really softens it up and it makes it look more believable than this. But if I do spoolie these guys here, it does soften up nicely. That's the one thing that I like about this. I have always loved a powder pencil. My favorite one used to be Le Crayon Poudre from Lancome, and then they changed the formula and it was never the same again. And I started hunting for other brow pencils. There is one from Benefit that is very similar to this. It's the Gimme Brow Volumizing Pencil. This has fibers in it. I don't remember. Let's check and see if the one from NYX has fibers. Hold please. Yes, there are fibers in this, which is why I love it, which is why I think it's a great alternative to this one here. I do really like this pencil. I've had it for a long time and I've used it quite a bit. It also comes to a nice sharpened point. This volumizing pencil is really good, but it's in the $20 range, like what, $24 or $26, where this is, I think, close to $12. And, you know, for half the price, if you can get a pencil at the drugstore, there are 12 shades of this. That is amazing. I forget how many shades there are in Benefit, but I know there's 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. You know, they have half shades because they didn't used to. But I love that they've extended their shade range. But if you don't want to pay Benefit prices and you like this type of powder pencil with fibers in it, give the Powder Louder a try. This one has really been impressing me and it makes my brows really easy to fill in. So these top 3, it was really hard to pick, and it came down to what am I using the most. Now, these are stunning and I'm using them all at number 3 because they came in a set. This is the dress code set from Merit and it includes 3 lippies. I love the Merit lipstick formula so much. So the original signature lipstick comes in this amber packaging. This one here is so beautiful. This one is the shade Bespoke. Yes, I have been wearing this one so much. It's so good. Their matte formula is a beautiful shade called Black Tie. It definitely is a little bit more berry in tone. Ooh, she's so pretty and such a comfortable matte formula to wear. Now, the one that's brand new for holiday, and it only comes in this set, is a shade called Du Jour, and this is a whole new formula, hence the kind of honey colored packaging here. This is their lip blush, and this is a soft, sheer, matte shade. Do you see how soft that is? I mean, it is like, I'm trying to build it up. I'm just going over and over and over and over, and that's it built up. This is kind of like the lipstick for people who don't like lipstick. I don't want to have like really glossy lips. They just want just a little bit more color. I am hoping and have my fingers crossed that Merit comes out with more in this formula for 2025. I feel like this whole set here is amazing. I think it's $56, which is a great deal because normally each of these lipsticks is $26. So you're getting a deal, getting 3 of them for $56. I think this is fantastic. This is the one thing that if you are a lip lover Out of all of the lip offerings I've seen, the sets, the kits, and all of that, this is the first thing I would jump on. I'm a lip obsessed junkie. I love lip products so much. I have skipped on so many other things like the lip sets from Sephora and other places. This is what I wanted right here. And there have been a lot of releases for holiday. I've picked up a few, but this holiday set right here, so good. Okay, number 2 is the mascara I'm wearing today. And I'm absolutely head over heels. Now, for someone who has straight lashes that point downwards, the fact that I did not use my eyelash curler today, and you can actually see them, they're actually kind of going up. That's huge. They're also a lot longer than they normally are. This is a beautiful mascara. It's the new Shape Shift mascara. It's a tubing mascara from M. I used to love their Pick Me Up mascara. I still have like a couple of tubes of it running around that are unopened, so I'll get around to finishing those. But this new beauty here, this has quickly become my new favorite tubing mascara. First of all, like the length that I'm getting is so insane. I love it. The other thing is that I didn't curl my lashes today, and they're still heading upwards. What magic is this? I really like it. So it saves me a step. I also like that I get some volume, but it's not too much. They never end up looking spidery. They never end up looking too much. So if you like a more natural lash, you're gonna love this. It's gonna give you just enough volume, just enough length, and it's gonna look like you have excellent lashes. I have the worst, wimpiest, short, straight, downward pointing lashes. This makes me look like I've got the best lashes ever. I am so impressed with this. Definitely will continue to repurchase and would highly, highly recommend if you are a tough sell on a tubing mascara, this might be the one. All right, number 1 spot goes to something I never thought I would ever be head over heels for or needs must always have, and it's a finishing spray. This right here is beautiful. This is the M Cosmetics Divine Water Perfecting Mist. This is the sort of, I feel like it does magic on my skin. It doesn't just make everything kind of meld together, because yes, it does do that. It also is hydrating. I have a lot of other setting sprays. I've tried a ton of other ones. I'm currently trying to love the e.l.f. Power Grip. It's okay. I don't have to have another one. And this is way more expensive than the e.l.f. This, I think, is $34. Of course, it's larger. It's 3.4 ounces. But this is like magic in a bottle for me. Because the problem that I'm having as I'm getting a little bit older is that it looks like makeup is sitting on my face. And I'm doing my best to buff things in. I'm doing my best to use finishing powders and things to make everything look good. But if I don't want it to look heavy and I want it to look, you know, pretty and skin-like, this. I wish, I mean, it has a fine mist on it, but it smells amazing. It's not a really heavy scent, but there is a scent to it. But I would love it more if it had one of those really fine kind of like, it just kind of, it feels like an atomizer. This is not quite at that atomizing level, but it's not like the old pump from the MAC Fix Plus or the all-nighter from Urban Decay, where it was kind of like spitting at you large, you know, irregular sized droplets. This, you can never really see. It hits the face and it kind of just makes everything come together and look beautiful. And it takes away the really powdery look if I've used a finishing powder. Man, I love this. This is so good. You can use this before you put any makeup on as kind of like a primer. You can use it to finish your face. You can use it midday to rehydrate if you're feeling a little tight and dry. I think that's going to happen a lot to me as we get into colder months and the weather starts to change. But this, I wish I had picked it up right when it launched. That's how good it is. But man, if you like a more hydrating setting spray, and it's not really a setting spray, but it is a beautiful finishing mist, man, you would love this one from M. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to link everything that I talked about in the description box down below. Keep in mind those are affiliate links. You can use them or not. That's totally up to you, but it doesn't cost you anymore. And when you use the links, it does give me just a small commission that helps to support my channel. I really, really appreciate it when you do that. But I'm also going to list, I will have one section that's just the stuff that I talked about in this video, and then a whole nother section that is going to be what I'm wearing on my face today. I always get questions, what are you wearing? What lipstick are you wearing? What blush are you wearing? What eyeshadow? I'll have all of that for you in the description box. Thank you so, so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon.